Yeah. Chess and the Timmons. Yo. I'm the man in charge, triple dip justice, my reach is large, indicting T-Rex arms, yeah they on display, short reach, big mess on a public way, yo. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight, Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky, the joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight, Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky, the joke ain't over, just watch me fly, yeah. Advanced years, wisdom stacked, try me once, no turning back. James Jackson ordered, case dismissed. Kasi G strikes, you won't resist. Yo, yo. Order in the court, the rhythm pounds. Justice echoes, breaking bounds. Prosecutor by day, mic in hand by night. Adjust your antennas, I'm the signal, alright. Antennas, tune in tight. Kasi rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky. The joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Yeah, adjust your antennas, tune in tight. Kasi rules the bench.
What's up, everybody? Merry Christmas. Can you guys hear me? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Can you guys hear me, hopefully? Yes. Okay, good. Good. So what I wanted to do is go over some of this Lank stuff that I was talking about yesterday, and yeah, I've had a bit of an issue trying to upload video files. Surprise, surprise, right? But I will just I wanted to put like 3 or 4 of them in, just short ones, so it wouldn't take forever to upload, but it was not cooperating with me. So I was able to get one in, and you know, most of you guys will remember this stuff. So we'll go over some other stuff after I do this here, okay?
Physical altercation with the brother who was not ultimately restrained. Both of the brothers and everybody else was just told by the officers, go away, get out of here, go home, correct?
No, I believe one of the brothers left the scene, fled the scene, and the brother that was restrained was ultimately uncuffed and left free to go.
And nobody was arrested that night?
Correct.
Nobody chased down the brother that left the scene, correct?
That's correct.
And nobody arrested the brother that had been hit?
Correct.
And no police reports were written by you or any of the other officers about this incident on that night?
I don't recall when the other officers wrote theirs. I did not write mine on that night.
The next day, you became aware that one or both of the brothers had arrived at Canton Police Department to file a formal complaint for having been physically attacked by you and some of the other officers involved, correct?
I don't recall when I was made aware that they had come down to the police station.
You are aware that there was a complaint sought against you for the physical attack that was alleged to have occurred, correct?
It was brought to my attention that they had come down to the police station.
And you also are aware that only after that complaint had been sought, the police reports were then dated and filed against the two brothers, correct?
So I had spoken to the sergeant on duty the night of the incident.
I'm just looking at
It's not a yes or no question.
So he was just asking about dates. So can you answer the question? Ask the question about the dates again.
I'm seeking the chronology of events. The fight occurs, a complaint against you occurs, and then police reports.
Yeah, if you guys are talking about the echo, I know where that's coming from, and I tried to fix it and then like re-upload the clips, and no matter what I do, StreamYard is not taking whatever files I'm giving it. So, I mean, if it's not that bad, you know, can we just kind of go through it? But yeah, I know. Yeah, it's echoing. I don't know what to tell you. I've been doing this for a while, and StreamYard's giving me a hard time. I don't know what else to say about it. I just need to get better at it. All right. Okay.
Reports are filed against the two people that are complaining against you. Is that the chronology?
Yes.
And you're also aware that although he had been in a physical fight that night, no charges were ever brought against Chris Albert, correct?
Objection.
Do you know that?
I don't know. I don't even know where the fight occurred.
Officer Lane,
He doesn't know where the fight occurred. Well, we're gonna find out that is a straight up lie. I mean, to even say that in court is just nuts. But anyways,
what we just talked about, is that an example of you using your position as a police officer to come to the aid of one of the members of the Albert family?
It was me coming to the aid of a citizen who was terrified and scared for him and his family on that night.
Who happened to
Who
be
happened?
named what?
Excuse me, who happened to be Chris Albert.
You mentioned Kevin Albert. Who's he?
Kevin Albert is a detective with the Canton Police.
Is he a coworker?
Yes,
How long have you known him?
probably since 14, 15 years old.
And you also consider him to be a friend as well as a coworker
I do.
and a colleague.
Yes.
And you're
yep, yeah. So there we go. Like I said, I wanted to. Yeah, the echo stopped when I muted my mic for some reason. I don't know why that would be, because I don't have something playing in the background. You guys want me to play that over with my mic muted, or you want me to do that again? I can do that. All right, I'll do it again. All right, so this.
The fight was broken up between you and the other brother. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And that fight was broken up by the officers who were on scene.
Yes.
After this physical altercation with the brother who was not ultimately restrained, both of the brothers and everybody else was just told by the officers, just go away. Get out of here, go home, correct?
No, I believe one of the brothers left the scene, fled the scene, and the brother that was restrained was ultimately uncuffed and left free to go.
And nobody was arrested that night.
Correct.
Nobody chased down the brother that left the scene, correct?
That's correct.
And nobody arrested the brother that had been handcuffed.
Correct.
And no police reports were written by you or any of the other officers about this incident on that night.
I don't recall when the other officers wrote theirs. I did not write mine on that night.
The next day, you became aware that one or both of the brothers had arrived at Canton Police Department to file a formal complaint for having been physically attacked by you and some of the other officers involved, correct?
I don't recall when I was made aware that they had come down to the police station.
You are aware that there was a complaint sought against you for the physical attack that was alleged to have occurred, correct?
It was brought to my attention that they had come down to the police station.
And you also are aware that only after that complaint had been sought, the police reports were then dated and filed against the two brothers, correct?
So I had spoken to the sergeant on duty the night of the
Yes or no
incident.
question. I'm just looking at the time.
It's not a yes or no question.
So he was just asking you about dates. So can you answer the question? Ask the question
Could you
about the
repeat?
dates again, please.
I'm seeking the chronology of events. The fight occurs, a complaint against you occurs, and then police reports are filed against the two people that are complaining against you. Is that the chronology?
Yes.
And you're also aware that although he had been in a physical fight that night, no charges were ever brought against Chris Albert, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Do you know that?
I don't know. I don't even know where the fight occurred.
Officer Lane, what we just talked about, is that an example of you using your position as a police officer to come to the aid of one of the members of the Albert family?
It was me coming to the aid of a citizen who was terrified and scared for him and his family on that night.
Who happened to
Who
be
happened?
named what?
Excuse me, who happened to be Chris Albert.
You mentioned Kevin Albert. Who's he?
Kevin Albert is a detective with the Canton Police.
Is Is he a coworker?
Yes.
How long have you known him?
Probably since 14, 15 years old.
And you also consider him to be a friend as well as a coworker
I do.
and a colleague.
Yes.
And you
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I mean, I replayed it anyways because it's important to kind of understand how much he's lying here at this point. No, I didn't want to do that. All right, go back to that. Okay. All right, so we're going to go through. Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. I think this all of a sudden showed up, but okay, it's the same video. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's the same exact video. All right, hold on.
When we were younger, yes.
I want to draw your attention to an incident in August of 2002. Do you remember an incident in 2002? The fight was broken up between you and the other brother. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And that fight was broken up by the officers who were on scene.
Yes.
After this physical altercation with the brother who was
Hold on, are those not different? I mean, because the descriptions I have of the video are the same. They sound a little different, though. Give me 1 minute. I need to suss this out because I've been trying to upload 2 consecutive videos for like the past hour and a half, and it just has not been working. All of a sudden, one shows up, but they both have the same description. They just might be the same thing, but a tiny bit different. I just want to make sure.
with it involved Chris Albert.
Yes.
In 2002, in August of 2002 specifically, you were off duty, correct?
Yes.
You had been drinking alcohol, correct?
Yes.
You were approached by Chris Albert out in the parking lot, is that right?
That's correct.
And
Did we just hear this one? You tell me, because I've been dealing with clips all day. Did we just hear this one? Did you guys hear the part here where he's talking about Chris Albert? Yeah. No, I didn't have a procedure, but I have a thing here. So, thank you. But I did have dual root canals the other day, the 23rd. I just want to make sure I'm not playing the same clip for the third time in a row, but okay.
Chris Albert told you some information about being in a fight. That he had been in a fight, an altercation of some sort, correct?
He told me he had been in an altercation earlier in the night and some threats had been made to him and his family.
And you got out of your car and discussed this with Mr. Albert, correct?
No.
You just talked to him while you were seated in your car?
Yes.
At some point, did some other individuals approach that same area?
Yes.
Was there a fight that you believed was about to ensue?
Yes.
Did you get out of your car at that point?
I did.
Did you come to Chris's aid by, quote-unquote, activating yourself as an officer?
I got out of my car and I approached the group and I pleaded with them to not fight tonight. I said, there's not going to be a fight tonight. There's 6 of you guys. He's here with his girlfriend. There's not going to be a fight tonight.
Did you come to Chris Albert's aid as best you could as a longtime friend of his?
I came to the aid of a citizen who was in fear and of need.
That citizen happened to be Chris Albert, whom you had known since you were 12 years old.
Correct.
Ultimately, a fight did break out, did it not?
Yes.
And you engaged in that fight.
Yes.
And again, you had been drinking alcohol at that point, correct?
Correct.
And you were off duty in August of 2002 during this fight.
Yes.
Just like you were off duty in 2022 when you were called by Sergeant Good to activate and come to the crime.
Yeah, so the whole problem here with what Lanka did is he was off duty, having his you know, second or third beer at a restaurant in Canton when this whole thing came about. But Jackson's only allowed to get into like a very little bit of this. You know, it was clear that, you know, Bev wasn't gonna let him like go crazy with this and like go down the whole road, but there's a lot more to the story that people don't know. And the players in it you might recognize. So I'll explain that as we go along, as we go through the document. But the problem is, like, if he was just at a bar, like, in off duty at the time and had gotten to an altercation, well, that's just, you know, that's just like a kind of a civil type of thing. You know, it could be on either side, really. But what ended up happening is Lank activated, I mean, you know, that's the term, he activated himself as a police officer, then inserted himself into the altercation, now as an activated police officer for the town of Canton. So now he's not acting on his own in an off-duty capacity. He has now activated himself as a police officer and got into this thing with Kevin and Chris Albert. It involves the both of them, okay? Even though that wasn't really kind of, you know, made really, you know, obvious in the questioning, because he was, you know, Jackson was limited as to what he could say, and he knew it. Yeah, so he wasn't just acting as himself, he had now become, you know, a cop in that capacity. And we're gonna see exactly how that whole thing plays out in a federal action with the Lapalato brothers and their civil rights being violated by Lanka the biter and the spitter. We're gonna see why that's a thing too. But others as well, and you're gonna recognize a lot of names, all right? So I just wanted to kind of give you that pretext as we go forward, okay? He activated himself as a cop. He didn't have to do that, but he did that for a reason, so that he could cuff people and have other people get cuffed, and, you know, he's acting as a Canton cop from this point forward.
I've seen it. 34 Fairview.
When Sergeant Good contacted me, I was not working. I was due to work at 7:45 that morning. When Sergeant Good contacted me and told
By the way, now, I didn't kind of get this until today. How does Goody play into this? I don't know if this is part of why Good has been, you know, I don't even know his status at this point. Is he suspended with pay or without or whatever? There's a bunch, you know, something in that way. I can't remember. I think it might even be with pay, but there's something clearly came up in the Proctor text that may relate to this, or it may not. It just may be completely independent of anything that came up in Proctor's phone, or it may not be. I don't know. But the fact that Good's name was brought up here would have to at least raise a question, right?
me what was going on, then I activated myself and came to work because I was the detective sergeant.
And that's similar sort of activation. Using that
Hold
sort
on.
of air-
Who said he was fired? Was he fired really? Because I don't. Was he fired? I don't know that. Can anybody? I should probably just look it up. I'm gonna let this keep going. All right.
It's a similar sort of activation that you employed back in 2002 to assist Chris Albert.
No.
You did, in fact, call for someone to call the police and get some Canton officers over there, correct?
Excuse me. So in 2002?
In 2002.
Yes.
Okay. And I failed to ask you this, but in 2002, you were, in fact, a Canton police officer
Yes.
at the time. After the other officers arrived, did you order the other officers to handcuff or somehow restrain one of the two brothers that were involved in this fight with Chris?
No.
Ultimately, did you see whether or not those officers handcuffed or otherwise restrained one of the brothers that was involved in this fight?
Yes.
And did you then engage physically in a fight with the other brother who was not restrained?
No. The struggle had already occurred.
All right. So let me make sure I get the timing right. You did, in fact, engage in a physical fight with one of the brothers, correct?
Upon being struck, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Upon being struck, yes.
And then you struck him back.
Yes.
You ended up.
All right. So yeah, I wanted to like upload more clips, but it wouldn't let me. So, anyways, no. Sergeant Sean Good has not been fired. He's on paid administrative leave. Okay, from active duty, but still employed. The suspensions stem from investigations. Yeah, so. Anyways, nobody's really sure why, but, you know, one could conclude after the Proctor stuff came out, very quickly he was suspended with pay pending some type of other investigation. So, what we'll do now is, yeah, I wish I had those other clips, but hey, you know, what are you gonna do? All right, let's take shit down. Okay, let's put. All right. Okay. All right, so this is the legal document here, which I can't seem to embiggen or make bigger. So, in the early morning hours of August 31, 2002, Mark LaPilato was beaten and bitten by defendant Michael Lank. That's why I call him Lanka, the biter. But he's also a spitter, and we'll see that. After activating himself as a police officer, he intervened in a conversation between plaintiffs and several of his childhood friends. He stated, that's probably a typo, he stated was a police officer and physically inserted himself between the parties. When Mark LaPilato told him to get out of the way, defendant Lank sucker punched plaintiff Mark LaPilato, wrestled him to the ground, and bit him on the arm, leaving severe bruising. Defendant officers Lane and Nix were present. Defendant Nix handcuffed Alfredo LaPilato at Lank's request and placed him in the back of a cruiser. Now that's why he activated himself. Okay? Because if you're just out, you know, off duty, you know, having a couple beers, right? And we're going to find out who owns the restaurant, okay? We're going to find out who owns the restaurant he was at. and what connection that has to other things that happened in the case. It's I kind of went deep on this one and found some really interesting things out, okay? So, defendants, Nix and Lane pulled defendant Lank away from Mark Lapalato. Now, okay, so I've been in a fight or two, more than a couple, right? I've never had to bite anybody. You bite when you're losing. I can't picture a scenario where I'm winning a fight, but then I also bite somebody. It's just not a thing. It sounds like he might have been getting his ass kicked a little bit, and maybe to get him off him, or maybe because the Albert brothers were useless in this situation, probably weren't helping, but just sitting there like, get his ass, Lank. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You don't bite people. And yeah, Mark Ellen, I'm from Dorchester, and we don't bite people. Yeah. I lived in Dorchester for quite a while. I'm not from Dorchester, but I'm from Metro West Boston, but we don't bite people. I'll let somebody choke me out before I bite them, And I'm also not a spitter, but, we'll see how that plays into. Why? Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. All right. Defendant Lane stated, "Get the fuck out of here before I arrest you." Following the officer's orders, Mark Lapalato left. He had sustained a black eye and bruising. His arm was wounded with a deep bite mark. So, these two brothers are there at this restaurant, right? And they get into words with Chris Albert, Kevin Albert, probably a bunch of other townies, and Lank, and then Lank activates himself. All of a sudden, now everybody's acting, cuff him up. You know what I mean? And you can imagine what happens in that situation, right? But I don't want to get ahead of my skis, so we'll keep going here. Black eye. Defendant Lank then approached the police cruiser while Alfredo Lapalato was being held and asked, "Who's your buddy?" Then Lank stated, "I'm going to make your life miserable," and spit in Alfredo Lapalato's face. After approximately 45 minutes, Alfredo Lapalato was released. I'd love to talk to these brothers, by the way. They're still around. They've been very quiet on this. They probably have an NDA, which they probably can't break, but it's also been, I don't know, like 20 years. I mean, I don't know when that NDA runs out. I'd love to talk to these guys. These guys sound like my types of guys. I don't know. The Lapalato brothers, like me and my brother used to get into fights a lot. So, I can kind of, relate with them a little bit, especially running into a couple members of the Albert family. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. Who are you guys? So, whatever. I mean, I got a bunch of stories. Me and my brother have been in many a thing, but that's for a different day. All right, so the next day, Alfredo Lapalato went to the police station to make a complaint against the involved officers. He asked to speak with lieutenant or captain and was told to come back on Monday. He left his phone number. On the following Monday, Mark Lapalato went to the station to make a complaint. He spoke with the sergeant, showed him his bite mark, and described the officer's conduct during the incident. The sergeant told him "I'll get back to you," regarding his complaint. On the following Tuesday, Alfredo called the department and made another verbal complaint. and stated he wanted to come in and speak with someone. The officer with whom he spoke stated she would look and get back to him. I believe, for purposes that we'll see later, that was run him down Helena Rafferty before she came chief. Okay, and she had a different name at this time because it was before she was married, and she was not Rafferty at this point. Okay, so kind of pin that, and you might see that later. Okay. That evening, someone from the department called Alfredo and stated that she would look into the complaint. To this day, neither Mark nor Alfredo Lapalato has heard anything further from anyone in the Canton Police Department regarding an investigation into their complaints. Instead, several days after making the complaint, both Mark and Alfredo received a summons to appear in Stoughton District Court on charges of assault and battery on a police officer. Now, this is the shit right here, right? Because it didn't end there. It could have, but it sounded like these guys were pissed. But also, you know, Canton probably could have buried it, you know, maybe under a mountain of paperwork at that point. And, you know, just kind of made it really difficult on them. But Lank can't help himself, and we're going to see why. On the evening of February 6th, 2003, while the charges arising out of it, so not only did this happen, not only did, you know, they did what they did, and now these guys are being charged with assault on a police officer. So you can kind of see where this is going, right? Mark and Alfredo Lapalato went inside a mobile gas station in Canton. The other brother, there's a third brother, Chris Lapalato. There's a bunch of these Lapalato guys. I love it. And several other individuals are waiting for them outside in a vehicle outside. Defendant Lank entered the store and asked Mark Lapalato how he was doing. How do you think that question went? Hey, how's it going, dude? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Yeah, I mean, how's the family? Did you guys have a good holiday? I mean, this was, you know, it's a different time of the year, but I think their conversation probably went something like, hey, how you doing, fuckhole? Huh? How's it going? That's probably more how it went, right? So he replied, not so good. You attacked me, and now I'm the one who has to go to court. Mark and Alfredo Lapalato went outside to get in the vehicle. Defendant Lank then ordered Mark Lapalato to get into his cruiser. So again, now he's on duty. He's got a marked cruiser. I think it's marked anyways. I mean, they say cruiser. And he's like, get it, you know, get in the fucking back. While in the cruiser, Defendant Lank asked, can we talk about this now? When Mark Lapalato did not reply, Defendant Lank placed him under arrest and instructed another officer to take him into the police station. Lapalato was booked and held at the police station. He was released at 3 a.m. and arraigned the next morning on charges of threatening, disorderly conduct, and intimidation. So now, not only do you have the original, Lank activating himself as a cop, and once they learned that they had gone into the police station to file a complaint, now he sees him randomly, or maybe not so randomly, at a gas station with a carload of, with other Lapalatos and like orders him into the back of a cruiser. And when he doesn't get the answers he wants, places them under arrest for different shit, you know? For, let me make sure I get this right. Threatening and intimidation. Is that intimidation thing that they love, right? All right. On October 23rd, 2003, after a 3-day jury trial, Mark and Alfredo Lapalato were found not guilty of all charges arising out of the August 31st, 2002 incident. All of the charges arising out of the February 6, 2003 incident were dismissed as well. Since the incident, the Lapalatos have been pulled over repeatedly for motor vehicle citations in Canton. No surprise. All right, the defendants, now these would be, this action was brought against the police, right? So these are the cops. The defendants expect the evidence to show that on August 31st, 2002, the defendant Lank worked a 12 to 8 shift on August 30th, then worked a detail from 8 to 4 p.m. He went home, slept for a bit, got up in time, went to a friend's house to attend a wake. He then left the friend's house and went to Centerfields. I've been to Centerfields, by the way. It's not that bad of a place, but you're going to see a relationship with the person that owns that a little later. He arrived there at approximately 10:30, 11 o'clock. He stayed there until closing, consuming 4 to 5 beers. Probably double that, right? While leaving the restaurant, he was asked, the owner, Jim Marathis, to drive another patron home. Now remember that name. Jim Marathis. Some of you might recognize that last name. And if anybody can come up with in the chat of where you've heard that last name, you get a Cosy prize of, hey, good one. Or anything I have laying around here or something, I'll send to you. I'm only kidding, but maybe you guys know how that name kind of figures in. He got into his truck and was about to leave when Chris Albert approached him. Mr. Albert was with his wife, Julie, and indicated he had just got into a fight with Mark Lapalato, and Mark had made threats against him. Officer Lank observed Mr. Albert's hand to be swollen. So his hand was swollen, so he must have been beat up. There you go, pickle handle. You got it. What's his first name? Nick, right? Nick Marathis? Yeah. All right, good. You win. So yeah, he must have got punched in the hand, which must have hurt. While speaking with them, Officer Lank noticed a group of men coming down the street. Mr. Albert backed away and said it was Mark and his brother coming down the street. Officer, wait, hold on. I got lost. Albert backed away and coming down the street. Officer Lank exited his truck and walked towards the Lapalatos. He identified himself as a police officer and told him there would be no more fighting. The plaintiff said they didn't care if he was a police officer. Officer Lank held up his hands and got between both groups. Mark and Alfredo began to slap at his hands. Mark then grabbed him and tried to push him. Officer Lank held on to Mark until they separated. Mark then punched Officer in the leg, striking him in the left ear. Now this is the defendant saying this, Lank and others, this is their testimony here. Officer Lank returned a blow, and they began to wrestle and trade blows. It's a weird word to use, by the way. He felt someone hitting him on the back of the head and turned to see Alfredo Lapalato behind him. At some point, the defendants, Nix and Lane, arrived and the groups were separated. A decision was made to summons Mark Lapalato as well as his brother, Alfredo. Officer Lang contacted his supervisor that night, who informed him he could write his report when he returned to duty 2 days later. Officer Lang later completed his report and had the plaintiff summoned into court for assault and battery charges. A clerk's hearing was held and a complaint was issued. During the pendency of the criminal charges, Officer Lang was on duty and went to the Mobile Mart for a drink. While at the store, the plaintiffs came in and began to make statements to him. You wanted no part of me that night. Hold on. Because the thing's in the way. You wanted no part of me that night. Quote, "We will get you," Officer Lang initially brushed her comments off and left the store. While in the parking lot, Mark Lapalato threatened him further. Officer Lang called for backup and placed Mark under arrest and charged him with disorderly conduct and intimidation of a witness. Mark was transported to the station by another officer. Mr. Maranthus was the owner of Centerfields. He testified during the criminal trial that earlier in the evening, 9 o'clock, there was an altercation between the plaintiff, Mark Lapalato, and Tim Albert. So that's the third. All right, Tim is now in on this. All right, give me 1 minute. So that makes 3, okay? He testified during the criminal trial. Okay. Mark Lapalato and Tim Albert. He called the police because Mark refused to leave the premises. The police arrived and the dispute was cleared up. He then testified that around 12:30, he was outside his establishment talking with Officer Lank. He requested that Officer Lank drive another patron home because the patron had too much to drink, even though we know from testimony on both sides that Lank clearly was drinking and driving. He said he had 4 or 5 beers, right? We can assume there's probably more than that, right? Because why would, you know what I mean? Or was it 3 or 4? But anyways, either way, I mean, maybe he drove a drunker guy home, you know what I mean? But come on. So it's pretty clear what these people are able to do in this town, right? It doesn't matter. As long as you know the right people, you're good. He testified that Lank did not appear intoxicated. Of course not. At that point, he observed Tim Albert walk towards them and indicate he was just in a fight with Mark Lapalato and that Mark had threatened to kill him. Those Lapalato boys get around, man. They don't like the Alberts for sure. And that's why I like them. They're not afraid to throw down with any of the Alberts. I mean, except with, you know, maybe. But Brian was nowhere to be found in this story. So there isn't any of Brian here. Maranthus testified that Lank told Albert to go to the police station to file a complaint. He then observed a group of individuals walking towards him. Officer Lang exited his truck and walked toward the oncoming group. He identified himself as a cop. No more fighting, blah, blah, blah. Maranthus indicated that the plaintiff, Mark, said that they did not care he was a cop, and a fight ensued. He called 911 from his cell phone. He did observe Mark Lapalato fighting with Lang. Officers arrived and the fight was broken up. Stipulations of fact, none. Right? So lawyers on both sides were like, no, we don't agree with anything in this case. Nothing. Okay? Contested issues of fact. At this time, all facts are contested. Okay? Jurisdiction. Questions raised by pending motions. Defendants intend to file a motion to bifurcate. Plaintiffs intend to oppose this motion. Defendants also intend to file a motion in limine to exclude evidence of unrelated, unsubstantiated conduct on the part of the officers. Plaintiffs intend to oppose this motion. Plaintiffs intend to file a motion to amend a complaint adding an additional theory of recovery under 1983, namely that the defendants violated the plaintiff's First Amendment rights. Okay, so that is the old classic 1983 civil rights violation, and it takes, that is, as we've heard by many of, attorney that, you may follow or may not follow or whatever law, that civil rights violation is a pretty high bar, right? That 1983 action is, that is no easy thing to get done, all right? So the plaintiffs expect trial witnesses to be Mark Hanley, Steve Alessi, and I just, spelt the same way. I'm sure there's no, no, I'm not positive there's no relation, but I would guess, right? Because Alessi's from New York. I don't know. Steve Alessi, Anthony DeVito. I know a couple DeVitos, not which is Danny, but others. Tim Albert, Brendan Albert, James Young, Chris Albert, Peter Bassani, Chris DePietro. That is also not spelled the same way. Chris Lapalato, Officer Paul D. Giampetro. Is a name we recognize, correct? Is he not the holder of the Sallyport videos, right? Paul D. Giampetro? Okay. Okay, Julie Daniels, James Maranthus, Sergeant Mark Ronayne, Jillian Daniels, Turtle Douche, Where's Your Upper Lip, Big Fucking Bird. Yep, that Jillian Daniels with a G kind of always throws me off. But yeah, that's her. Sylvester, I don't know these other people. Kimberly Ricci, that name rings a bell. Ricci. And I heard it recently, but I can't remember why. Lieutenant Helena Findlin. I think we know who that is, right? Unless there happened to be another high-ranking Helena at the Canton Police Department in that time, who would later become the chief, I don't know this for sure. But it sounds like that she would become, later to become Helena Rafferty, run 'em down Rafferty, okay? Bob Nutt, who is a licensed social worker, his name's Bob Nutt. And he's a social worker, so that's pretty funny. Oh, look at, down the bottom, Chief Ken Berkowitz. R.I.P. Mr. Berkowitz. I mean, you know, a lot of people would say differently. Officer Saraf. He was the first officer to show up at 34 Fairview, and also the first officer to testify in the first trial, right? Saraf. Yeah, he's a bigger fellow. Officer O'Brien and Eric Wade. Now, we've heard his name a few times as well, okay? In addition to the witnesses listed above, the defendants intend to call Ron Holman from Brockton, Mass. Photographs of the scene, injuries to Mark Lapalato, booking sheets, investigation reports, mental health records, blah, 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 okay? So, yeah, that's it for that. But, yeah, so do we get a, oops, shit, oh, okay, all right. We kind of get a better idea of what's going on here. Now, I want to, see, this is the stuff that I was trying to do. Because I was trying to email stuff to be used in the presentation. Now, if you can give me a minute, I want to look at something here, and I want to try to be able to show it. And apparently people don't like when I feed the ducks, so all right, give me a minute. I want to look at something here. Sorry guys, there's like 20 something different things to this action, and like there's a bunch of really good stuff in here, but like there's so many different filings. I want to get the right one. So what I did want to say is, on the part of the defendants in this case, the cops in this case, attorney after attorney after attorney after attorney kept filing to be removed and say, I don't want any part of this. I'm good. And so there was constant motion after motion to withdraw. Like right here, I'm looking at them right now, like several times. Like an attorney would get into it for like a month and be like, yeah, no, I'm not I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna be on this fucking case. It's crazy. And that's what a lot of this is. Notice of appearance. It's a lot of that. Notice of appearance, notice of removal, you know. All right. Yeah, there's just tons of those, but there's like to get your hands on the actual decision. It's tough. They don't make it easy. Motion to amend. All right. Wait a minute. No. Look at this one. All right. Sorry about that. I might like dip out for a minute here. Just give me 1 second. All right, sorry, I have my mic muted here. Yeah, so this is like, basically, how they came down on the facts of the case. Sorry. I gotta bring this up. All right. Okay, because I can't make it any bigger, so. Wait. What was that? I thought this was supposed to be. Oh, okay, it is. All right. Okay. All right. Give me one more second. Give me one more second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. This is an action for money damages on behalf of plaintiffs Mark Lacpilato against Lank, Nix, Errol Lane, Chief Peter Bright of the Canton Police. This action is brought. Okay, so this is about the 1983 civil action, civil rights violation. Jurisdiction, the parties, the Lacpilato brothers, the other Lacpilato brother. Defendant, Town of Canton is municipality duly organized under the laws of Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now, like I said before, Canton would never be brought into this, period. If Lank hadn't activated himself as a cop and then acted like a dickhead cop. If he was just off duty and got into a fight, it would have been a private thing. Somebody acting in a private capacity cannot violate your civil rights. I mean, I guess they could, but in this situation, this is all Lank's fault. I mean, and people can't. And a lot of people in Canton, like on the other side, have been bitching about this for a long time. and like complaining about it, but they have no one to blame but Lank and the other cops that were complicit and named here. I think one or two of them still might work there. I'm not sure. I remember, Lane and Nix. I think Nix might still be there. I'm not sure. But, Lank's been promoted. We know that, right? He's definitely been promoted. That was, he's got a higher title than he did at the time. So he was, he wasn't reprimanded for this. He was awarded for it. So Defendant Chief of Police Peter Bright was at all times relevant to this complaint. Chief of the Canton Police Department, acting under the color of law, and that is, when you listen to like Solomon Radner, who is brother counsel's brother, is a big 1983 guy. He talks about acting under the color of law. And basically, that's what Lank did when he decided to activate himself as a police officer. He's then acting under the color of law and not as a private citizen or an off-duty police officer. Making the town of Canton responsible for damages against the Lapalato brothers. It's that easy. At all times, material hereto, it was responsibility of Defendant Bright to properly train, supervise, and discipline police officers at the Canton Police Department and to implement established law, policies, and regulations. So shit flows downhill. We know that. And, me being a plumber for a long time, shit flows downhill. Cold's on the right, hot's on the left. That's your basic plumbing principles. But shit flowing downhill is a big one because it can't go the other way. So anyways, they start off with the chief and then it goes from there. Defendant Michael Lank was at all times relative to this complaint an employee of the town of Canton Police Department and is sued in his individual capacity. Defendant Errol Lane was at all times relative to the complaint an employee of the town, blah, blah, blah. Nix, same thing. Facts, on August 31st at approximately 12:45, Mark Lapalato was sitting at a friend's car in a parking lot outside the Golden China restaurant in Canton, Massachusetts. That's Maranthus's place. On August 31st, approximately, I'm just going to cut through I'm not going to read everything. Lapalato, several individuals. Pretty much it was the Albert and the Lapalato extravaganza is what it ended up being. And it sounds to me like the Alberts were either scared or they were losing badly, because why would you need all these other people, right? If you were winning, what do we need you for? Doesn't sound like that, does it? Sounds like they got their ass kicked. And sounds like Lank was probably getting his ass kicked as well, just by his actions. I mean, again, why would you bite somebody if you're winning? You wouldn't, okay? Verbal dispute. So Tim Albert's brother Chris Albert. I don't think I was dreaming so Kevin is named in this as well, right? I believe he is. While sitting in a car, Mark Lapalato and several men leaving Centerfield's bar. At this time, exited the car. He was then attacked by several of the men in the group, including Chris Albert. After this attack, Mark Lapalato called his brother. He's like, "Hey, Alfredo, I'm getting fucking attacked down here by the Alberts. You know what I mean? Come down here and help me out. So his brother came down here and started cleaning house. Again, I'd love to meet these guys. But, we'll see. Plaintiff Alfredo Lapalato left his girlfriend's house where he had been sleeping and came to the parking lot out of concern for his brother's well-being. Well, it's a solid brother, you know what I mean? My brother would do the same thing, or I would do that for him. When Alfredo Lapalato arrived, he noticed Chris Albert, Tim Albert, his brother, knew Chris Albert and thus approached him to inquire about an earlier dispute. At this time, defendant Lank came from the area in front of center fields. He was swaying as he walked. At trial following this incident, Lank would admit that he drank about 4 beers in the 2 hours he was at center fields. Come on. All right. Defendant Lank approached the plaintiffs. As they approached Chris Albert, he began yelling. He was a police officer. His breath smelled strongly of alcohol. At the trial following the incident, Lank would testify that he activated himself as a police officer. That was really just the dumbest thing about this. But, he decided to do that. 2 other Canton police officers, Defendant Lane and Nix, arrived at the scene. They were kind of all just working together, Cuff him, put him in the back of the cruiser, and then goes and spits in his face, and, it's bullshit. While the other officers were placing, Defendant Lank approached Michael Labo, pushed him backwards, and then punching him with a closed fist on the side of the face. Nice. Plaintiff Michael Labo fell to the ground. Defendant Lank landed on top of him. Defendant Lank continued to hit Mark Lapalato. Defendant Lank then bit him, breaking the skin. I have a hard time believing that Lank was doing all this damage, and in the middle of it, he's like, you know what, let me bite you while I'm at it. Just doesn't track with me. While Alfredo Lapalato was sitting handcuffed and in the back of the cruiser, Defendant Lank approached him and spit directly in his face. God damn. He's a spitter and a biter. Defendant Lank then asked Alfredo, "Who's the other kid? Who is he? I'm gonna make his life miserable, and yours, you whatever." After Defendant Lank spit in his face, So we heard this before, but these were found as facts in the case. So I'm kind of skimming over it. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm reading the same thing twice, but the first thing that I was reading was a complaint. These are the facts brought out in trial, okay? Next morning, Lapalato went to Canton, and, and there, yeah, we'll look into it, buddy. Don't worry about it. And it said, till this day, had not heard a word further. So, I mean, is it really surprising that this culture exists, And, Jackson wasn't able to go too deep. He was kind of like, given leeway to kind of nip around the edges a little bit, but he didn't go deeply into this. Police reports regarding the incident were not drafted or filed until September 2nd. This was only after Alfredo Lapalato went to the station to complain about the conduct of the defendant officers. Yeah, maybe if they hadn't, maybe if Lank hadn't activated himself, put him in the back of a cruiser, had him handcuffed and then spit in his face, they might not have went to the police station. Might not have done any of it. Chalked it up to a night or whatever. But that's not what happened. He spoke with the sergeant, described the officer's conduct during the incident. The sergeant told him, "I'll get back to you," regarding his complaint. That evening, someone from the department called Alfredo and said she'd look into it. To this day, nothing. Zippo. All right. So you can see where this whole, so only after he went to the police station to make a complaint. After it came out and like, oh, you want to come you want to come to the police station and make a complaint? Well, now we're charging you with assault and battery on a police officer, which is just using, under the color of law, using your power as a police officer to do these things. And then they later charge, these guys with, or at least one of them with intimidation of a witness. And what was the other one? I forget the other one. Disturbing the peace or something. I don't know. One else had to get in the vehicle. Several cruisers, defendant. Yeah, can we talk about this now? And when he's like, "Fuck you," he's like, "All right, I'll just arrest you." You wanted him to say, "Yeah, we can talk about it. All right, I'll let it go. I won't go to the station. I won't make a complaint. Whatever. We'll just leave it as it is." I mean, who's intimidating who here? Right? So only after that, where the guy's like, he either was silent or was like, go F yourself, Lank. And he charges him again. Went outside to the vehicle. Suddenly, several cruisers appeared. Now he's getting cuffed and stuffed. And yeah, I mean, that's just shitty, man. And by the way, earlier we talked about when they were in the gas station. Lank's the one that went up to him and said, "Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's it going, fucko? How'd that work out for you? Good?" So he initiates the contact with the Lapalato brothers. He's like, well, not working out so well. I mean, I had to, you attack me and now I got to go to court. He's like, "Oh, yeah. You're thinking, you're a smart guy, get in the back of my cruiser." And then, charges him again when he doesn't get the answers that he wants. I mean, the fact that they won this thing under a 1983 claim is like very, very telling. I mean, those things aren't won every day. And I think it was around 300 grand. Around there. The exact number, I think will end up, I don't know if it'll be in this doc, but it was around 300 grand for the both of them. So, and, they were probably underpaid, in my opinion. But, this was also a while back, 2003. So on October 23rd, 2003, after a 3-day jury trial, Mark and Alfredo Lapalato were found not guilty of all charges regarding the incident. Now, that's something different. This was the original assault and battery on a police officer. This is that. This is the thing that they charged him with first, in which they were, it sounds like they took it to the mat, they took it to trial, and got found not guilty on all counts. I mean, everything. All of the charges arising out of the February 6, 2003 incident were dismissed at the arraignment the same morning. the assistant district attorney who handled the matters. Wait a minute. Okay, so they didn't. All right, let me go back. On October 23rd, 2003, after a 3-day jury trial, Mark and Alfredo Lapalato were found not guilty on all charges arising out of the August 31, 2002 incident. And then it says, all of the charges arising, oh, okay, all right. So the first charges of assault and battery on a police officer regarding that night went to a jury trial and they were found not guilty on all counts. Now, all of the charges arising out of the February 6, 2003 incident were dismissed at arraignment that same morning. So when Lank ran into the boys at the gas station and said he's now charging them with intimidation of a witness, those charges never made it anywhere and wouldn't go past the next morning. And see, I didn't kind of know that before. All of the charges arising out of February 6, 2003 incident were dismissed at the arraignment that same morning. The assistant district attorney who handled the matters apologized to Mark Lapalato and stated that after the October trial, he realized defendant Lank was a liar. Damn. That's crazy. I don't remember reading that before, but yeah, I mean, when you have district attorneys out of Norfolk County apologizing to you after they drop your charges, after an arraignment, you're like, please don't sue us. But, you know, it didn't quite work because they did a lot of damage to these dudes. As a result of the defendant's conduct, Mark Lapalato suffered physical injuries, humiliation, embarrassment, and emotional distress. Alfredo Lapalato suffered humiliation, embarrassment, emotional distress, and economic losses. Count 1. The plaintiffs restate and reallege paragraphs 1 through 38 and incorporate said paragraphs. So basically, they're like, yeah, we doubled down on what we said. You know what I mean? We were in the right, you know, even though clearly they weren't. By the actions described in paragraphs 1 through 38, defendants Lank, Nix, and Lane, acting under the color of law, violated plaintiffs' rights to free speech and to petition the government for a redress of grievances in violation of U.S. their rights under the First and 14th Amendments. That's big. To be free from excessive force in unlawful seizures in violation of 42 U.S.C. 1983 and the 4th and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Those are big ones. And listen, this is kind of, you know, especially with the free speech thing. I mean, that's what they're doing, the Turtle Boy, right? To be free from excessive force and unlawful seizures, he might have a claim in that as well as a 1983 civil action, but certainly Karen Reed does. And, you know, we'll see how that plays out. The defendants restate and reallege paragraphs. Yeah, so the Lapalatos, like, yeah, we doubled down on our shit too, 1 through 40. By the actions described in paragraphs 1 through 40, Bright has through his, you know what I mean? So they'll name each cop, Nix, Lane, and Lank, you know, by name, and they'll say the same thing about each of them, right? So failing to take advantage of easily available measures to ensure his officers did not engage in constitutional violations, failing to adequately train his officers, failing to adequately train, policies, procedures, all that, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you're in a fight, well, first of all, if your buddies are in a fight and you're a cop and you want to help them out and you're off duty, I guess, you know, I don't know. If you're a cop, you should probably stay out of it. But if you feel the need to help your buddies out, you better do it under the capacity of an off-duty police officer, not activate yourself and then become an arm of the police department by doing so. I mean, I've been saying it all along, and I can't stress it enough. That's why Canton was even brought into this thing. The plaintiffs restated, okay, yeah, so they doubled down on what they said. And yeah, a jury trial is hereby demanded for all claims, right? And so yeah, I mean, that's the end of that. But so yeah, I want to I forget how much money they actually won. Give me 1 minute, because I want to see if I can come up with that real quick. It was around 300 grand. I don't know. I can't look it up quick enough. So, anyways, yeah, Lang should have been fired. Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any questions? You guys, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. I don't think it's in here. You guys wanna call him with any questions or anything, or? You guys just wanna talk, you wanna say hello? We can do that. Alright. Let's see what happens. Alright, let me do this. Yeah, give me a call. Hope everyone's having a good day. Oh, jeez, that was quick. Yeah, hello, this is Kazi. May I ask who's calling, please?
Hey, Kazi, I'm sick, Kazi. What's up?
How's it going?
How's it going?
All right.
Hey, I believe Kimberly Ricci, was she not the real estate agent?
I don't know. I can't remember who she is.
I think so. So I think that had to do something with some of the removal and non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure of what?
Where they moved stuff because you got to remember that the homeowners, the new homeowners, stated that there wasn't anything stated to them that all this had happened.
Oh, so she might have been involved in the real estate part of that?
Yeah, I believe if you look her up, she is a real estate agent.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I believe that's why they wanted to call her, is to see what had changed with the house as far as when they did the initial walkthrough and all that, to see what had changed when they put it on the market.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but also what I wanted to say was, Jim Morantis, the guy that owned the restaurant, right? His brother is Nick Morantis. That's Jillian's boyfriend, Jill Daniels' boyfriend, right? But
Okay.
Nick Morantis is, I have a extremely reliable source that has told me that Nick Morantis is the one that tore the floor up at 34 Fairview. I don't know if that's public knowledge or not, but I can't remember. Somebody told me that besides the point. I don't know if that's public knowledge or not, so.
Well, if it didn't, because work like that doesn't go through a contractor, it can. So that's why I say there actually might be relation in that, whether it went to the realtor to have that remodeling done or not.
Right.
Or if, there's ways to look it up through subcontracting and contracting. But if she was a real estate agent and didn't do disclosure. But you can actually, I believe, I don't know, it depends on state to state, to look up jobs that they worked.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that is something that they would put on the books, right? They wouldn't want that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you can kind of go back and request, because that's another thing of public knowledge, as far as on if you're researching to say, hey, do I want this guy as a contractor to do work at my place? You can actually request those records. Those are also public records as well.
Right.
And
Had he done it in an official capacity, yeah, sure.
Exactly, but if he's cooking books, then that's another thing too. I mean, that's stuff that you can always pull those records as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's all public information. If any business that you run that runs under a bond or a license, you can pull those records and you can pull their financials.
Sure, which is, you know, why I think that they had him specifically do that. Right? Go down there with a rented jackhammer and get the shit out of there, and then, yeah, I mean, it's out there in, you know, it's out there, you know, in the ether or the world that, you know, that the floor was tore up. So, I mean, if he goes in there and tears the floor up and carts the shit away, and you know, puts it in the pool before they fill it in, right? And then
I
like,
don't, now, this I kind of want to clear up though, was it somebody else's pool that they had filled in, a different family member that
Well-
had their pool filled in before they did?
well, okay, so all right, so I never really went deep into the pool thing because it kind of doesn't matter because they're not gonna dig that up or anything, looking for pieces of concrete that might have blood on it, that might have came from the floor. It's a bridge too far, so I never really kind of got into it. But I'm just
Right.
saying, like, if that's where something you were going to do, you would hire, you know what I mean, have somebody like, you know what I mean, just rent a jackhammer, you know, rip the floor up, get the shit out of there, and then like a few days or a week later, like, have a concrete company in and do the floor again. You know what I mean? Which is probably on record. You can probably find a concrete company that came in and did the floor again, which would be on the books. But you know, the tearing up of the floor and who did it would probably not. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, and
right.
that goes back to, it's like, where's the interest in the research? Like Melanie says, you know, and comments about things about, you know, certain, you know, conversations and text messages and researches. It's like, if you're looking for, where's the context and what you're searching for? They never look for the context in anything either.
Right. Yeah. And now that, you know, the, you know, the criminal case is over, I mean, there's a lot less attention being, you know, put on it. But, you know, I found when I originally, read that Lank report,
Okay.
the fact that all happened at Jim Morantis's restaurant was like really interesting to me because his name I learned from Turtle Dove, right? Instantly, that Morantis name instantly stuck out at, you know, it was like where I didn't have to think about it. I knew the name immediately, you know.
Right.
So, you know, you can see how all these things tie into it. I read off the, you know, all the usual suspects. You know what I mean? Berkowitz, Rafferty.
Well, yeah.
DG and Petro. They were all named on that thing. I mean, they're all the same people that we've heard about a million times.
Yeah, all the same players, and it seems like they were recruiting more into their schemes, and not just this case, but several others.
Yeah. You know, well, they're yep. They travel
Why?
within a small area. That whole pack travels pretty deep together, don't they? Right?
Yep, I believe so. I think that it's like, which is kind of like surprising to me because this is something you would see like in the deep south. You wouldn't think of it up in the north and that, but it's like that deep kindred. But this is more like mafia style crap. That's like just really.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, you know, we're now known for our corruption up here. Took us a bit, but we're making up for lost time. And I mean, the first show that I did on this channel, I talked about my own thing with my mom,
And I relate to your mom very much. I'm out here. I'm originally from Wyoming. I'm out here in Arizona. I went through the same thing your mother did when I moved to Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah. So I can totally empathize and relate to that. And it's a tough world, but I went into being a firefighter EMT after that because it was so corrupt in the law enforcement side. And I did actually get very welcomed into the EMS and firefighting world. But then at that time, it was a fight against each other, and I don't know why, because it's should be a supportive all amongst. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I'll say another thing, like kind of as an aside, when these people talk about, oh, it would take all these people to make a conspiracy happen. Like, no, it really, it wouldn't. It
only starts with one person. It starts from the top and it works its way through.
Well, the thing is, right, it's relationships, right? I mean,
Yep.
These cops and these paramedics, they work shoulder to shoulder every day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
when they get on there and they say, I don't even know who this person is, you have to be kidding me. I mean, you're in a small town. You work these things daily with each other. I mean, you work together daily with each other. Like, if this one person is going to take this certain type of, angle on something, you're just gonna go along with it. I mean, you're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm with you. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily an active participant in a cover-up or a conspiracy, but it's just
You just go with the flow.
your natural
what happens.
inclination to be like, I've worked with this dude every day for the past 7 years. Yeah, fucking whatever he says, I mean, why is that so hard to believe? Like, I don't get it.
Right. Well, it's survival for one, and then look what happens to most people that are whistleblowers.
Right? Yeah.
If you're a whistleblower, then, it's like down here, if you're a whistleblower, boy, the governor will take you out and you're done.
Yeah, you might, somebody might, unalive yourself or whatever. I don't even know what
Allegedly, no.
You know-
And I get it. And the thing is, I empathy 100% for your mom, Kazi, and I appreciate your story about her. And Merry Christmas. I know it's like this stuff is sucky to talk through, but at the same rate, it's reality and it happens.
Yeah, but it's also important to, to kind of, it's important to kind of give ourselves reminders that, we didn't hear everything in court. We just only heard a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
and Andrea's doing, she has a comment, and they are there, it's true, you can be all in. I mean, you save your own ass. That's just it. If
Yeah,
you're saving your own
yeah.
ass.
Yeah, why, it's not really that unbelievable to,
Yeah.
it just is what it is. I mean, but I appreciate you saying that about my mom. Yeah, she went through a lot. And,
Yeah.
that was just there was nothing really surrounding. They just wanted to be, assholes to her,
They're for it. Been
And-
there, done that.
and
I
they-
had just lost my husband, and it was the day after my son's 5th birthday, and I was pregnant with my daughter, and he passed away the next day.
I'm
And I
sorry to
was
hear
dispatching-
that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I was dispatching that night because we didn't have enough coverage, and it was it's crazy insanity. And they turned around and fired me. They said, "You can't handle this," and I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Next day I went and I helped a lady, and it was a train wreck, and she lost her husband. I showed up for that as a volunteer firefighter at that time, and I went to the hospital the next day to see her because I knew what she was going through.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
told me that I could no longer commit to my duties.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. I mean,
Oh, no, but no, it's like that's the thing. It's like Kelsey. It's Simmons. Fitzsimmons. It's like we're a strong group, and people just don't see it. It's 2025. Come on, this isn't the frickin' 70s, the 80s, 90s.
yeah. They thought they had themselves a victim in my mother, but they obviously didn't
No.
know. They obviously didn't know her well.
Right. That we fight back.
Yeah. She wasn't having any of that shit. So, anyways,
All right. Well, I love you, Bunches Kazi, and such a blessed Christmas to you. And hopefully you get more callers and we blow your channel up.
all right. Well, thank you very much for calling. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right.
All right. Bye. Oh, she was nice. Oh, somebody called at 6:25. I'm gonna call your ass back. All right.
Kazi G.
Hey, why did you call my phone?
I'm sorry I missed most of your presentation tonight.
It's okay. You can hit rewind or whatever they do these days.
This is Mary Swampy from New Orleans.
Oh, I Mary Swampy from New Orleans. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Lady, did you say I'm muted? I'm not muted. Well, hi, Mary Swampy from New Orleans.
Yeah. I'm hanging out. I have the candles all lit and, chilling out.
Chilling out.
Yeah.
How was your Christmas?
It was good. I'm solo, so I'm just kind of like hanging at the fort. But I thought about going out, but I might go out tomorrow because we have about the Roosevelt Hotel down here. They light it all up. Like the lobby is incredible, and they light the whole thing up.
I did not know about that, but I just like
Well,
nothing.
you gotta come. You gotta come down and visit, man, because we have some really cool shit.
Cool.
But so I might go to the Roosevelt. They have a bar there called the Sazerac, which is where the first Sazerac was made, which is an alcohol type beverage.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of a traditional thing to go have a Sazerac at the Sazerac bar.
No, it sounds like fun. There isn't anything. I mean, the Chinese food joint down the road is open, and I got a hankering for some Chinese food, so I might get some of that.
There you go. There you go.
But beyond that,
I just had a
everything
protein
else is
drink,
closed, huh?
I just had a protein drink, so I'm not really, I don't know. I might eat later, but...
Yeah, I haven't eaten anything today. You guys might hear my stomach over the, I haven't eaten anything. But,
Well, it's nice to meet you, Kazi G. I really just called to say Merry Christmas, and
Yeah,
I
thanks
hope
for calling.
everything's going good for you.
Thanks for calling, Mary Swampy, and we'll talk to you next time.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, be
Bye.
careful. Careful
Bye,
tonight.
and happy holidays to all the chat, too.
All right, absolutely. Happy holidays.
Okay. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye now. All right. Mary Swampy. I've seen her before. Anybody else feel like calling in and saying hello? I'll try not to break character, but it's hard sometimes because, I don't know. It is. Ooh, you guys hear that wind? It's whipping through here. Give me a minute. All right. Does anybody else want to call in and say hello? Number's still up there, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. You guys want to do like a little comedy break here or something? God, nothing will load. Such a pain in the ass. All right, hold on. Sorry. What is the length?
It's Linda.
Yeah, Master's calling, please.
Hey, Cosby, it's Linda. I'm in Connecticut. We talked last night.
Hey, Linda from Connecticut. We talked last night. How you doing?
Good, good. I'm getting the vibes of the beginning of Moby Dick in the setting that you're in with the drawing of the old boat behind you.
Oh, yeah.
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 Can you tell us about that boat and, what's her name and what connection it has for you and
Well,
interested about maritime history?
well, I got these blueprints from this really old place in Acton, Mass. And a guy had I have a bunch of them in the other room. And they're old Navy ship blueprints this particular one is from 1891, right? And it's an old Navy ship. And I got like all of the blueprints for it. This is like the overall, I'm in the process of getting wood to make frames for them. But this particular vessel is, it's from the U.S. Navy. This is called a light vessel, even though it's 110 feet long. And it's 26 and a half feet long by 13 feet deep. That's a light vessel to them. But they're super old.
Does it have the SSN, like the Navy's name for the boat? Or also, too, it looks like it might be a lighthouse boat, like the old historic, like in New Bedford, Fall River, like the lighthouse boats that would
work offshore to warn.
It may
other-
be, but you know what? I mean, I think you're right, because you know what it says in the corner that I never really realized before? It says Office of the Lighthouse Board, May 1891. So you're on to something.
Oh, interesting.
And it's signed by the naval secretary at the time. George something or other. So yeah, I mean, I think I didn't really notice that until I looked at the writing on the left lower corner. Office of the Lighthouse Board, May 1891. And it's not, the boat has not yet been named because, I mean, it's just a blueprint.
drawing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So they call it.
Well, interesting, because 1891 is 2 years after the Constitution,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Oh, no, 1791. Never mind.
Yeah.
Got my
but,
dates mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, during, Civil War time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Oh,
Anyway, so I was just getting a very strong historical vibe, and that's kind of
Yeah.
like what was interesting to me, and probably doesn't interest a lot of other people in the chat, but I was like, this is really cool. And now you have the other drawings, like this is the elevation, but you've got the other.
Yeah, I got all the other ones. Like I got like all the like the structural drawings. I got all that stuff. And
That's cool.
well, I'm down the Cape, so I like nautical. I like old nautical stuff. Like I'm a big
Yeah.
nautical guy. And like that lamp above it is one I kind of rescued and put back together.
I can't see it. Flip your camera up.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's old. That's old.
Hold on. It works though. Hold on. Yeah. It kind of drowns the picture out though, so
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get too much heat next to that drawing. That's
well, it's not really the heat. It's just it's kind of. I need to put like a really low, a low watt light bulb in it.
Yeah.
It's not bright in here, but the also, I need to get a camera and a microphone and all that stuff. Like this is all strictly through my laptop, so,
Well, this is really cool. I stumbled upon you yesterday, and I'm intrigued and very interested in all the other content that you're going to be pursuing. So I used to be a scuba diver, and I dove a couple of wrecks off of the Cape Cod coast, Pendleton. I can't remember the name of the other one, but they're all just pretty much jumbles of. You can't even look that there would be a boat, but
yeah.
I'm always interested in the old historic stuff. When it's made of wood, it disintegrates, underwater very, very quickly. So
Yeah.
Thanks for indulging me.
Yeah, like old, like nautical lights and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for indulging me. Have a good night.
Yeah. No problem. Thank you for calling. Merry Christmas. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, a little history on the. I'm going to be building frames for them. What size is it? Shit. I mean, I don't have a tape measure with me, but I'd have to say. It's 3.5 by 2.5, like 3.5 wide by 2.5 tall. guesstimate. I mean, I can go to the other room to get my tape measure, but you know, whatever. It's around there, like 3.5 by 2.5. 3.5 wide by 2.5 tall. But the other ones are really interesting too. It's just a lot of people would be like, what am I looking at? You know, this is kind of the overall specs of the ship when it's done and what it would look like, and you know, I mean, obviously it's from the 1800s. It's super rudimentary, you know. It's got rudders, it's got sails, there's no engines or anything, so it's pretty cool. I love antique nautical stuff. I like antiques in general. I used to refinish a lot of antiques. I got a lot of pictures of that stuff. If I was better at doing shit on here, I would pull that up real quick, but yeah, I don't want to like take forever to bring up something I can't even put into my presentation. You should preserve those. They are preserved. This is a copy. I brought them to. Once I got them, I instantly brought them to, you know, a blueprint place and had copies made. You know, this is a copy. This is not the actual, it's not the actual thing. I have those in a climate controlled environment, like, yeah. And the guy was super old, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you know what? He's like, you can basically have them, with the one caveat is you take care of them and kind of pass them on. So that's what I'm doing with them. The copy of the one behind me is worth the paper that it's printed on. You know what I mean? There's no value to it. It's cool. And when I wanted to put something up behind me, and again, I do have to get a camera and a microphone and get a better professional setup going here, but I'll do that. And it'll look way better at that point. I mean, you'll be able to make out everything, and the lighting will be better. We're in the beginning stages of the Kasi online antenna experiment. So, anybody else? Newburyport, I love Newburyport. I used to go up there striper fishing all the time. Plum Island. I used to get a lot of big stripers up there. I like the Newburyport area very much. A lot of history up there too. A lot of nautical history up there. Gloucester, same thing. But as far as the Cape, I mean, there are some places, when you go further down the Cape, the antique shops are just insane. And I love stuff like that. I really do. Surf casting from Plum Island. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Bring an 11-footer out there. Get some live eels, but I hate screwing around with live eels, but they're the best because they're so gross. But that or mackerel, cut up mackerel. When they're running, when they're running in, June-ish, somewhere around there, maybe early July. I mean, I love that. And, you know, I'm down the Cape, so there's good fishing, but I'm not like in the best fishing spots. I'm not like at like Race Point in like P-Town or anything where they have like the tournaments, or like where I was just on the island, on the vineyard, where, you know, you're right there. And I didn't even take advantage of it this year, but I don't know, maybe I won't next year. Anyways, anybody else want to call in? Because I've kind of run out of presentation. That's all I could load up. When I swear, I was trying to load like a minute and a half to 2 minute clips. Just really simple video clips, which I've had no problem doing the entire time. And today it was not working with me at all. It just did, nothing would load, and I'm lucky I got in here what I was able to get in here. So, anyways, I'm just gonna, try to improve every day, and not every day, but every stream I do, try to get better at it. And yeah. So it's 6:58 Eastern time, right? We'll give it till 7. If nobody calls, we'll call it a night. We've been on for 2 hours and 13 minutes. But I feel like it was pretty good. I feel like we learned a bunch. Another minute. If nobody calls, and we're gonna call it a Christmas. Oh, wow! Okay.
Let's all travel.
Oh. Hello. Hold on. Sorry. Give me a minute. Oh shit. Hello.
Accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, hello, Mace. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Coffee. It's Angie.
Hey, Angie, how you doing?
I'm good. Just called to say Merry Christmas real quick. It's still at my in-laws, so.
Oh, well, Merry Christmas. Good to talk to you. What's going on at the in-laws? Anything?
Lots of food.
Lots of
Probably
food?
Way too much food. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, there's worse things, right?
This is true.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking
Yeah,
about
the kids are.
getting some Chinese food. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds good.
You have a good day?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the girls got K-pop Demon Hunter stuff, and Hayden got Avengers stuff, so they're happy.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. As long as everybody, had a good day.
Yeah, and I think Arya might think you're Santa.
Yeah.
Because I had to call Santa twice. Like, I found a hotline
Yep.
just to get her to go to bed last night.
Well, she was excited.
Yeah. And she told me last night, she was like, okay, for Santa, we need a plate, a cookie, and some chocolate milk.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
I'm like, chocolate milk? We don't have chocolate milk. We got regular milk.
She's like, yeah, well, you better go get some.
Right. But yeah, they're all happy today. But I think she thought it was your voice, or your Cosby voice.
Oh, well.
Santa was. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't know. I've been called worse. than Santa. You know?
Yeah. Oh, it's not even cold here.
Wow, people are deciding to call in real quick. Okay.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Hey, Merry Christmas, Cosby.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Is that more than one child?
Yeah, that's Aria. That's both girls.
Oh, both girls. Merry Christmas, both girls. Good to talk to you. Hope you got everything you wanted.
Oh, you're okay. Okay. Mwah. That better? Yeah. That better? Okay. Can you say bye?
Bye. Merry Christmas. That's
All
cute.
right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks for calling. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Call from.
Yeah, Master's calling.
Oh my God, I can't believe you put twisted panties on freaking the home. Come on, Cosgrove, you're supposed to be helping me out here.
Okay. How you
I
doing?
mean,
What's up?
I don't know. Help me, I'm trying to help your wife out in the basement. Come on, what's going on with the Gatuni shit and everything?
What's going on with the Gatuni shit?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I was supposed to be, like freaking writing all this shit for you and Mello. What is going on?
I don't know.
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
Am I sleeping? Not yet. After I'm done with you, after I'm done with this call, I will be.
No, well, dang it. I'm really trying here. It's call me twisted. It's like, it went from crusty to twisted. What? I mean, come on.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, how was your Christmas?
Well, it's not going really good right now because I don't know where you're going. Are you gonna croak on us?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, have you seen me lately?
Dude, come on. I'm starting to try and take y'all under the table over here on my Section 8. Come on.
Okay. Hey, listen. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. It's getting kind of disturbing, And I see that you got rid of the friggin' blue. What was that? Was that a blanket or a Furby or what?
Yeah. No, it was a leaf tarp.
Oh, it was a leaf tarp. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so are you practicing on how they use a leaf blower then?
Nope. Nope. Only cops use leaf blowers to blow snow around. So no, I don't use that.
Oh, okay. So I'm not allowed to use one anymore in the city limits?
No, you're free to do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I do.
Okay, I just wanted to ask because I don't know because I'm trying to help you out on some of the shit that's going on this cover road.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling. I hope you had a good Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know. Well, I'm just trying to know if you're on a Gatuni side or if you're on where you're going, bro.
I'm on the side of the side of justice. That's what side I'm on.
Okay. I wasn't sure. That's I don't know because I kind of thought that you were gonna kind of help me out over here without Gatuni being involved in it. As far as there's a couple officers things that are just. I don't know. I think Gatuni's kind of might be. I don't know. Might not be there.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. Merry Christmas. Thanks for calling to the Cosby Show. Call in next time.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you could help me out.
All right.
I'll give you my statement next week though, and everybody else might not be there.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Jesus Christ. Don't you love when people try to be funny? What is this? That was a weird text. Okay. A couple people called me while I was on the phone. Wow, that one person that just called like, okay, all right. Excellent.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's Jess.
Hi, Jess. This is Costy. How you doing?
Yes, I know you very well.
What are you
I
doing?
was just calling you with your chat. I'm alright. I'm just moderating your chat. Everybody's being very well behaved, so I appreciate that. I was just calling to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and hopefully people who are alone today didn't feel as alone.
Yeah. No, I appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I think you're the only mod, are you not?
Danny was in the chat for a little bit. But
Oh,
yeah.
Danny was here for a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, I haven't seen anything bad in the chat at all, which is,
Yeah. I think it's trolls just probably don't know about your channel.
they probably
Like
don't.
your channel much.
They probably don't,
So far.
but also, I mean, what am I saying that's really controversial, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, I don't know. Kind of pretty straight. I guess it's something you could point at. Be like, I got a weird text a couple of minutes ago, and I'm not really sure what it's kind of saying, but it was interesting. I can't make heads or tails out of it, but whatever.
Well, that doesn't shock me.
No. I don't think it was necessarily negative, but I couldn't tell what was going on with it. So.
I think on your next live, you should do commentary on when I was on with Emily C last week when she had the power outage.
Oh, I didn't know about the power outage.
You were in the chat when Luke the Lawyer and I took over her show.
Oh! That ended up being a power. That ended up being a power
Yeah.
outage when she had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah,
Over.
maybe I will.
Yep.
I'll do that.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. Hades is attempting to just take over my life because he's got 125 pounds of himself of his Dutchy goodness just laying on top of me.
Yeah, he's just
But anyway,
imposing his will on everybody over there.
yeah, that's just me. So you know.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
All right.
we'll do Christmas next month.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
thank you very much
All
for
right.
modding and
you're welcome.
for being here. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome. I will call you. Call me later. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Yeah. There we go. All right. I'll give it another minute, and if somebody calls in, I'll take the call. We've been going for 2.5, almost 2.5 hours. Thanks for everybody for being here on a Christmas day. I know many of you, kind of maybe in my situation, like, don't have anything going on. Or like the lady that called earlier, and she's got plenty going on, but, figured she wanted to call in anyways, which is nice. So, there you go. We'll give it a minute. And if that is it, then we will be done for the night. What was that? Why do I get a voice notification now? All right. I'll just read this text because I don't know. This person wants to be anonymous, which is fine. What does being named as a witness in a 2007 doc have to do with disclosure or not of anything in 2022? All right. Well, I would say that it wasn't 2007. It was earlier than that. It was 2002, 2003, and have to do with disclosure or not of anything in 2022. It's called questioning the witness's credibility about their their behavior when they're on duty, and the things that and the lengths that they might go to help out a named conspirator in a murder case, namely the Alberts. I think that's what that has to do with. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to you're allowed to question and the validity of what they're saying as police officers. And as we know from what we've seen, he will do things under the color of law to help people in this family, at least 3 of them, right? So that's why it's relevant. So that, as much as I can tell you with that, that's why even someone like Bev would let that in to begin with, because it's relevant. You get to question that witness about their past performance under the color of law in the capacity of a police officer. So that's that. What state law defining activation? Is it like go gadget arm or something? No. And she says here, staties equivalent once sworn in are activated even when retired. Well, this wasn't a statey. This was a town cop. And he was off duty. He was not on duty. If he stays off duty, then, they could have sued him under a private civil action and not under a 1983 civil violations action when he activated himself. He activated himself. It's like punching your card. It's like going into work and punching in. Right. So when he did that, he basically punched in. You know, even though there wasn't a time clock at whatever bar he was at. He said, and it wasn't Jackson's words, he said it, Lank said it, he activated himself as a police officer. In other words, he went from off duty to now being on duty. So that's what activated means. It's not like go gadget, because it's not a real thing that's like a cartoon, but in other words, you know, he went from being a kind of a private citizen at that point to being a branch or an arm of the law enforcement community in which he was a part of by activating himself. Meaning he could have people arrested, he could have people cuffed. Once cuffed, he could spit on them. He could then, you know, impose his will on them. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but anyways, thank you for the question. I won't disclose your name or anything. I'm asking, I'm confused, not arguing. I'm a cupcake, not an ice cream vendor. All right, cool. Good to know. All right, everybody. Well, I'm starving, so I'm going to go. That Chinese food place better be open. They probably are. Why, is Glera going live? I didn't see it. I haven't. We're just over 2.5 hours. He might be going live at some point. Anyways, I love you fine people. Thanks for coming here and hanging with me last night and today. You know, I've been here doing nothing, and you know, you guys, I have hung out with a few hundred people in the past 24 hours that I otherwise would not even come into contact with. So I appreciate you being here. And thanks for coming on my presentation. I will talk to you fine people later, and I will leave you with this little song here. It's my own little song. But thank you, everybody. Have a good night. I appreciate you very much.
Yeah. Just Andrew Timmons. Yo. I'm the man in charge, triple dip justice, my reach is large, indicting T-Rex arms, yeah they on display, short reach, big mess on a public way, yo. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight, Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky, the joke ain't over, just watch me fly. Adjust your antennas, tune in tight, Posse rules the bench, I'm the law tonight. Be so high, they touch the sky, the joke ain't over, just watch me fly, yeah. Advanced years, wisdom stacked, try me once, no turning back. James Jackson ordered, case dismissed. Kasi cheek strikes, you won't resist. Yo, yo. Order in the court, the rhythm pounds. Justice echoes, breaking bounds. Prosecutor by day, mic in hand by night. Adjust your antennas, I'm the signal, alright. Antennas, tune in tight. Kasi rules the bench, I'm the law